Oi oi, it's your boy, Freshly Birth, back at it again. So I was scrolling through Twitter, and when I was just, chilling on my phone, scrolling through, I found a very interesting tweet. The guy Rob here posted to Anivia players, that's probably why it came on my feed. He was just saying, hey, I'm giving you guys a notice. I realized no one really talked about it, but there's some changes going on with Anivia, and her ultimate's not going to be cancelled by CC anymore. And I was like, what? Her ultimate's not going to be cancelled by CC? No. That sounds pretty good. That sounds like a good, a really nice buff to her. Would you guys do this? He says I work at Riot. I'm going to say it's a good source. So I look on YouTube, and I find this guy, I'm just looking through, trying to see if there's any news on it yet. It's on the PBE. Things could change. You never know. But I found this clip. So after seeing the clip, I'm like, okay, this guy, he's telling the truth. He is the truth. Appreciate you, Rob. Hey, thanks for looking out for those Anivia players. I give him a follow. I'm like, this guy, he knows what's up. And after I see that he's telling the truth, I look through the comments. I want to see what people are saying. One of the first comments I see is from Froggen. And let me give you some background on Froggen. He's a really reliable source. He's a pro player. He Anivia main, like, through and through. And so, I mean, this guy, he says, this is too OP. And then he laughs. He leaves an XD and a question mark. He's like, no, there's no way you guys are doing this, right? And so, I mean, if Froggen's saying there's no way they're doing it, he probably thinks this is pretty absurd. Like, why would this catch him off guard, though? And so, to oppose his opinion, hey, you guys, you can find it right here. Here's my Twitter handle. But I think they're probably doing this for a reason, right? I mean, Riot really knows. They got all the numbers behind everything. So I want to know what Riot's thinking. What does Rob know that I don't know? Maybe that even Froggen doesn't know. And so I start digging. Real deep. So the result of all that digging was, and a little bit of me remembering, was that there's a small rework they did with Anivia. And what the rework was, is they changed her ultimate. Before, if you would just cast your Glacial Storm, it would just come out as this huge storm, and you could just immediately E people, and Frostbite would deal double damage, but they nerfed it hard into the dirt, man. And so now what we all know is her storm would slowly form, and then once it's fully formed, you could E someone to deal double damage. Not how it was back in the day. Everyone back in the day knew her signature move in lane would be ulting and then getting critted on by Frostbite. And it was such a good trade, but they removed that, as they state here. They tried to make her a little bit more CC, so they wanted her W cooldown lowered, and her E no longer deals increased damage against targets in her R until the storm is fully formed. And that's what really, like, since that original small rework on her, she hasn't been the same. She's lost a lot of damage. They tried making her more of a CC champ, her walls come out faster, and then they big nerfs with this patch. But they weren't done with Anivia. They're like, you know what else can we do to her, just let's remove more damage. And so this was patch 6.23, but the next patch here, 6.9, or 69 really. Let's read this. It says, one of our oldest champions, Anivia, has always been a power pick for those willing to weather the storm of her steep mastery curve. Steep mastery curve. Okay, steep, right? While her strategic identity as a counter to heavy sieging is already strong, we saw opportunity with mid-season to sharpen her trait as a disruptor even further by focusing into her already potential CC, or already potent CC. Anivia cements herself out. And so that's really interesting, because the reward for mastering Anivia, I'd say, isn't as high as mastering some other champions like Riven, for example. Like, it takes a lot of time, really hard work, but if you master Riven, it's worth their payoff. Same with Jax, laners like that. I'm sure there's some other mid laners that have like really good payouts for mastering them. She's pretty good if you master her, but she's not gonna be blown out of proportion. Before all these nerfs, there is no crazy Anivia players who are just getting absurd 70% win rates, 65% win rates, just breaking the ladder, breaking everybody, just no counterplay. There's a lot of counterplay. So I don't really understand their statement back here on patch 6.9 of her steep mastery curve and wanting to make it worth it, because what they do here is they nerf her Q, and they want her to be a little bit more CC, and so what they do to get that is they give her a longer stun on her Q. Hard nerf. This is just a hard nerf. Her E, I mean, it's irrelevant really, and then for her R, her Glacial Storm, they remove a very hard CC component, which is her slow. It's her slow against attack speed. So like if ADCs would run into your storm, they used to get a slowed attack speed, which that was pretty good, but they removed it. And so just really huge nerfs, man, just crazy nerfs. There's like, I don't know what the big idea was, but they're nerfing her again. She really wasn't the same that she was before. She lost something. There was something she was missing. But then we jump all the way to patch 8.6, and at patch 8.6, there's this Seraph Embrace nerf. And this isn't because Anivia is doing really well. This has nothing to do with Anivia. What happened is a couple patches before, patch 8.6, they buffed Seraph's Embrace. And since they buffed it so hard, every champion, like every mage with mana was just taking it. And too many people were taking it, so like, whoa, Riot freaked out. They nerfed Seraph's Embrace. That was another, not on purpose, but it was another nerf to Anivia. And so just the train continues, man. Poor bird. She didn't deserve it. She just, rough. It's rough, but there's another nerf right there. So after that nerf, Riot's starting to realize Anivia players, they're not doing well at all. And a lot of Anivia players, their mains, like a lot of people don't stick to Anivia. If the people that consistently play her, they're just mains. Like her, I think 3%, a little bit under 3% of people play Anivia, so there's not that many people playing her. And so with this patch here, patch 8.11, so shortly after Seraph Embrace gets nerfed, Anivia's win rate goes down a lot. And since it was such a heavy nerf, and they didn't mean to nerf her on purpose here, they give her a small buff. They buff her Q, putting the cooldown, they lower the cooldown, and then they buff her damage a little bit, but it's not enough. The damage is still done. She's just, poor thing, forgotten. Like, it's been that way for a while, until now, where we're getting this exciting buff to her ultimate here, and we saw what it did. She can't get stuck in CC, and so her ultimate is just going to keep running. I don't think it's that insane of a buff, looking through all the history that we have here, and seeing that, from those patches, from years ago, up to now, I personally would rather have everything reverted and have her back to her original form, where she could just glacial storm somebody and then frostbite them with double damage, like having that sweet trade, than having the current state of Anivia where she's been nerfed, mini reworked, she lost all of her damage, she's supposed to be more CC, but she's still not there yet. I'm not sure exactly how you would, what buffs you would have to give her to get her there, but she's not there yet. And so this buff, although it might seem crazy at first glance, you're like, whoa, oh my god, I can't believe it, what, Anivia is getting such a big buff. It's a good buff, but me personally, I would rather them revert everything than having this buff. Although again, this is a good buff, but those are my 2 cents here. 2 cents on Anivia. Appreciate you guys checking out the video. Please, Anivia players, League of Legends players, leave your opinion in the comments down below. Let me know what you guys think after my history here. Do you guys think, yeah, maybe she needed the buff? Buff's okay. Do you guys want her to be reverted to how she was before they did the mini rework? Because I sure do. But this is a welcome buff for sure. Should give her an edge. But I do miss that original Anivia back in the day. That was fun. Alright guys, I hope you have a good day, night, evening, whatever time zone it is. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace!